Dayo, welcome to Mint. How you doing, my friend? Thanks for being on.
I'm doing great, Adam. Thank you for having me.
You got it, man. Let's dive right in, okay? Who are you? What does the world need to know about you? But more specifically, like what were you doing before crypto and where are you now?
Wow. My name is Dayo Adeosun. You can pronounce my first name like Cinco de Mayo with the D, Cinco de Dayo. I am the co-founder of Glass Protocol, and I focus mainly on community creators, collectors, curators, everything pretty much around like the social networking of uh, improving the product and the overall network of just the community as well as the actual product. Before crypto, I actually graduated from the University of Chicago in 2020. I was playing soccer. I actually was known as a soccer player for a majority of my life, where I'd play for a bunch of academies in New York, where I went to high school, and college at the University of Chicago. At the University of Chicago, I actually started my first startup, which led me to Glass. Actually, it was like a crowdsourced map that helped people find their people and find their places around campus. But
Cool.
COVID kind of wrecked that, and that was my first foray into startups. It was a Web 2 social map, and I've always been someone who was not a bystander and someone who wanted to make a change. And um, I'd say I read like a little bit of Marx in college, and it talked a little bit about this technological revolution and a little bit about where the world was going. I just kept reading a bunch of books. I read Sovereign Individual, and all these books in college that kind of just changed my worldview. And that kind of prepared me for this information age and really being just an adaptable, I guess, information um, internet, I guess, historian slash entrepreneur. So
Yeah. So talk to me more about that first startup. Like what did that consist of? How big did that grow to? And what were some like the biggest lessons you took away that you're now applying to Glass?
yeah, so the first startup was called Spot, and that really started because I saw this trend of loneliness that was coming from like the college students around me. Um, the idea was that like in 1987, college students used to hang out with like 38% of their community at least 5 days a week, and then by 2017, that went all the way down to 5%. And you're on campus and you're seeing just a lack of engagement amongst students. And Spot was really just the goal was to just maximize connection and maximize the time that you had that was free on campus to see who was available, where they were at, and to link up. And so we actually raised like a little bit of money from like University of Chicago. Um, they gave us like $10,000 to work on this. We applied like we did this college new venture challenge, which I think Grubhub came out of, Braintree came out of. I think they like I think PayPal bought Braintree, and some other like pretty bigger Chicago native startups came out of,
Mm-hmm.
and like a Chicago, I guess, YC um, at the University of Chicago, which is called the CNBC. And that's when I met Varun, and Varun is my co-founder to today with Glass. But we kind of just like iterated for, a year just on the idea of what would like a map that help people find the things they want be. And then we kind of went into like a stall point, and we didn't necessarily have like the backing capability to make out the full iOS app. And that's when we found Sam, who was working on like this machine learning, um, GitHub for machine learning, essentially, startup, at this pitch contest at Polsky, or at the computer science lab at U Chicago, and Sam was like working on like the Lightning protocol. This is like 2018,
Mm-hmm.
2017. Um, and Sam was like, "Hey, like I had this idea in high school. Would love to work on it again with someone who can do community and someone who can kind of code the front end." Um, and I would do the community, Vern would do the front end, and Sam would do the back end. So then Sam kind of joined the forces, and we kept building out Spot, and then we built it out for a full another year, and kind of went through iteration after iteration. Like we had a map with messaging, we had a Twitter maps, we had um, like Find My Friends, we had Foursquare, all types of ideas centered around the map. And the final one was like this map with like kind of like TikTok on the map. And that's what led us to this kind of videos a
Mm.
little bit. I mean, I'd say there was a lot of other things, just like a lot of ideas that were like culminating around. But we Sam actually was like, oh, like he tested out like just videos on IPFS. Like I think it was like December, and we were still working on Spot then, and then we figured that hey, there might be something here with this, just because the back end technology is so crazy.
So, but what were like the bigger macro problems you were trying to solve with Glass Protocol? Like, what were you guys after? So, I actually really love the journey of like kind of like throwing shit at the fan and kind of coming to some point where you're like, okay, wait, if we would have started this originally, would have never seen that we kind of landed over here. And now that led you to a whole nother journey that you're working on right now. But like you get to this moment, you realize, okay, this technology is actually revolutionary. That we could do something really cool with this. How did that evolve into actually solving a problem?
Yeah. So I'd say like with our other startup, we never really had like a problem we were solving outside of just like we saw an opportunity to connect people. With Glass, the problem was really obvious to us because I had my brother's girlfriend one time was like, "Hey, I want to go to this Beyonce Grammy performance. Like I had this Beyonce Grammy dance performance. They wanted me to dance, but I don't have like enough money to get there to LA in like
Mm,
the span of like a couple days." And it's like she had like around 200K followers on the gram. She's a amazing dancer. Like literally people sponsor her, people love her, and like they've sponsored her to just stay with her at her house, but didn't have enough money to just go to the Grammys to dance for this Beyonce
mm-hmm.
Grammy performance. And so we had experienced that like there are like star creators out there who don't have enough money to like get their actual career or even going to that greater level. And so we were like, wow, even a top 97% creator still doesn't have enough income to really expand their business. And so we just did some research, and 97% of YouTubers, make less than minimum wage. And so if 97% of YouTubers make less than minimum wage, and over 30% of like Gen Z wants to be video creators and
Right.
YouTubers,
It's
it's
like
like
where's like the it's like a misconnect kind of thing. Yeah.
everyone can't be poor,
Right.
like we need
Interesting.
someone, we need to provide a sustainable income for video creators. And so just living around video creators every single day and seeing all the infrastructure that went into video creation, it's like there's lighting, there's camera, that's a
It's a whole
like
production.
a
It's like a
whole
whole
production.
product just for like a 10-second clip.
Exactly, right? And so we're like, this is a lot of effort, but every single video is a loss leading experience. You're not even breaking even. And so it's like, we were like, let's make something that not only breaks you even, but 10X's to 100X's every single thing you do on YouTube or TikTok. And so that was like the idea that, like, if we're going to like this creator world where it's like, TikTok is like, you know, you get famous, it's like, maybe we can help, you get rich and ownership of the platform that you're using so that you can own what you're consuming. And like that was like it, like 10 to 100x monetization,
Hmm.
right? Then the opportunity to own, that like these were opportunities that just weren't there before.
So these were the problems, these were the opportunities. How did that manifest into a product now? What does that look like? So for those who aren't familiar with Glass, what does that product look like to solve that problem?
Yeah. So what Glass looks like today is, as a video creator, you're asking, how can I make money for my videos? I just spent X amount of money to produce this video, right? Let's say like $10,000. Now I want to release this video and make money from that video. And you go to Glass, which is a video NFT marketplace where you upload your video similar to how you would upload a YouTube video. And where you go to like create.glass.xyz, right? And then you're brought to like an upload page similar to like YouTube. The only difference is as you go to that upload page, at the end, you can actually mint that video to the blockchain. And that minting is actually stored on Arweave. And if it's like a live stream, say you want to do a live stream, we might use Live Peer to do the decentralized transcoding. But if it's just a video, you then can upload your video, mint it to the blockchain, sign a couple transactions to get it minted. We're using Ethereum right now, so it's going to Ethereum. You might have to pay a little bit of gas costs,
Right.
which we might subsidize. And then that video thing goes up, and then people can go to glass.xyz, right? You could go to glass.xyz. You can click on the video. It's kind of just like a basic, video. You click on the video, watch it. It's just like a YouTube video, really high quality. We're using very, very like quality video player back in technology with HLS. And then you can bid on the video. So you could do an auction where you could bid to buy the video as an NFT, and that auction starts after the first bid. And then in the last 15 minutes, if someone else bids, the clock resets to 15 minutes, and it's just a 24-hour auction.
Mm.
Or you could do editions, which is like collectible editions where you as a creator, I could upload this video and then kind of have 25 editions of this video that 25 of my friends can all collect as their individual, video. Um,
Yeah,
and,
and
and
by the way, I can back that because I've used Glass. I've watched videos on Glass. I've seen biddings happen on Glass. So it is actually really high quality, and people think like, oh, the blockchain is janky, it doesn't work. Like it's actually really good. It's a really good experience.
thank you. We spent so much time in college just working on user experience, and that's kind of like our background, just working on user experience, like community, making sure that the community was engaged. And this was all with like kind of minimal um, functionally
Hmm.
ready products, I'd say. Like we never really had like that perfect product. More so we had that just community enthusiasm and a really, really nice UI and UX. And now we have like this back end that is just like amazing, and these actual incentives that make you want to contribute even more to the community. And like that is the big difference. Just like you can get, the incentives have just changed. And like I studied economics at U Chicago. So like when the incentives change, everything changes. And
Right.
that's what this gives you.
So is the goal here, because it is a protocol, is the goal is that like something like TikTok gets built on top of it? Is that what you guys are like striving for, or like how do you kind of see this coming to fruition and reaching a million users, for example?
So the goal, I would say, in the next 9 to 10 months is that Glass becomes the home of decentralized videos, video NFTs. And if you want to put a video that lasts forever, if you want to put a video up that can, be a revenue generating video. If you want to put a video up that you might want to stay, stored forever, you would choose Glass as the place to upload and mint that video. Over time, we would want to, of course, have that, full protocol layer where it's like you could have TikToks hosted on Glass and build out that functionality to actually have um, platforms minting their own like best videos on Glass and hosting those as NFTs there. Right now, we're more so just like a platform more so than a protocol. And we are just kind of facilitating out to other marketplaces or um, essentially using videos that a creator might have posted on YouTube right now or on their Instagram or on their TikTok right now. And they can then say, hey, I think this of all the videos I have is the video I want to NFT. And then they come and they
Mm-hmm.
NFT that video on Glass. So a lot of the creators are just saying, hey, I have this YouTube video that has like 1,000 views on YouTube, like the Deli Flashy video per se. It's like that video has 3,000 views on YouTube, right? And then we sold that video for 1.41 ETH. And so he's made 10 to 100x on that video. So he's made at
Wow.
least 10x on that video from putting it on Glass than he did from putting it on YouTube. So it's like that's what we want from everything. Like the 2 feet video that was sold for 11.11 ETH, right? He put that video out on Glass on November 19th, so 2021. We put that he also put that video out on YouTube that same night. And that video got to about 800K views on YouTube after about like 5 to 7 days. And in 5 to 7 days, he made 11.11 ETH on
Mm-hmm.
Glass. And so he was like, yeah, you guys literally 10x'd the amount of money he made, and that he actually said he could never make this much money on YouTube from a video.
So you got
And
to ask yourself, like, what are you optimizing for? Are you optimizing for like distribution eyeballs, or are you optimizing for money, right? And I think actually the two can be combined down the line without a doubt, right? Once more of these protocols and more of these platforms get more mainstream recognition. But as of now, like what the model that you're talking about is like, it reminds me a lot of what's happening in music right now in the crypto scene, which feels like very underground. A lot of artists are experimenting with NFTs and social tokens, doing mirror campaigns, catalog sound, all these platforms. Okay. And they're either experimenting around fandom or like co-ownership, but also putting their stuff on more of the Web2 platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. So they're getting the reach and the algorithmic distribution of these centralized platforms, but then using these micro platforms as a way to monetize their like 1,000 true fans kind of thing. Right. So the way I kind of see it also like transitioning into video and content creating, like long form, short form, from what I'm understanding, is like you can come to Glass, you'll find the collectors, you'll find audiences, different audiences. Maybe they might overlap, but it's likely different audiences. Um, and you can monetize that audience, but then you can also publish on YouTube to kind of take advantage of your still like widespread algorithmic reach kind of thing. That's how like that's those are the types of models that I'm kind of seeing emerge right now. Is that what you're seeing as well? Are you seeing something different?
I that's exactly what I'm saying. So I think, like you said, right, Web 1 is, that was consuming content and learning how to buy content with like Amazon and Wikipedia. Then you had Web 2, which was like, okay, we can create, like, how do we become creators? Creators, all artists are also collectors. And so all these creators are also, collectors in a way, or consumers in a way. And Web 3 is like, okay, how do we turn these creators into actual owners of content and owners of things? And all of, like, Wikipedia is still here, Amazon's still here, YouTube, Google's still here. I do think, there's room for Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, as long as that product is fundamental in what it's bringing. And what we're bringing is, videos that can be sold. And I think in like 5, 10 years, everyone will own
100%.
a
Yeah.
video, or at least a GIF. And so I think we are, like you said, our main thing is monetizing that video more so than it is distribution. Down the line, we are seeing, Marky basically say, why would I post a video on YouTube when I could just post it on here and
Mm.
and get money for it. Um, we do have ideas that can, get potentially an artist, on Billboard and millions of views and,
The money. Yeah.
yeah, the money. And it's like, of course, that's what we want most. And that's what we're going to get to. But right now, it's like they're coming here for the money. And it's like, that's what 97% of creators actually need.
What's up, guys? Adam Levy here. I wanted to take a quick pause to give some love to Coinvise, our NFT sponsor who's making this episode a reality. On Coinvise, you can create a personal or community-owned social token on Ethereum. Coinvise also helps you create incentives through token rewards and bounties, NFT business models, and bot integrations for Discord. Discover more by visiting coinvise.co today. All right, back to the episode. You know what it feels like? Like money and fame are like detached a little bit because like the fame comes from like distribution and eyeballs and recognition. The money is like starting to appear in more of these like underground types of platforms and protocols that have it like it's niche collectors that see the value and understand what it is to fundamentally own something, right?
Exactly.
And I think like while money and fame is like very like a very adjacent, actually works hand in hand in many other industries. Like I'm kind of understanding that they're slightly being detached here. And artists need to consistently think about like, shit, do I want to like be vulnerable like that and allow the selling of something that usually has never been sold, rather rented? And actually, what does that mean for me down the line? And now that I have a tokenized asset, like how do I build community around that? You know, and these are like the things that I think we're like starting to like open up. These are the types of conversations that are slowly starting to happen.
The creators that we're looking for have three core pillars to them. And this is creators and collectors, because they're really interchangeable. Um, First is the creator pursuing excellence. I feel like
Mm,
all creators that are coming into this space are artists that actually want to be excellent at their craft. These are artists where it's like Drake samples their lyrics, or um, you know, these are like kind of the artists behind the main artists that the main artists are stealing from. That is where all of like the Marky Basie, like he has a billion streams, but it's like no one would know that because it's like he's behind the scenes a little bit. Or, ASAP 12E, he's in ASAP Mob, but he's not ASAP Ferg, he's not ASAP Rocky, but it's like Walk on Water. I was bumping that all college. Delhi, right? He's literally so well known amongst the Harlem community, and amongst the New York City community, but it's like he's not like on the main stage. He's on Insecure,
yeah.
but he's on the main stage. And so it's like we're looking for artists that are excellent. And oftentimes in Web 2, it doesn't reward the excellent artist, right? It rewards the loudest artists and the artists that have the best like industry connections. And so it's like Web 2 isn't about artist excellence. Web 3 is about like actual artist excellence. And then I also think it's about artists that are commercially adept and artists that have that commercial acumen to
Mm,
actually figure out, okay, my art is not just my art. The business of how I do my art is also a part of my art. And so these are artists that are thinking even different from a business perspective. And then the last is like this community minded. So it's like these artists are like, okay, how can I be proactive with my community and kind of almost like, NBA Youngboy or Lil Baby or um, you know, Billie Eilish. How can I craft
Sarah,
a
yeah.
community that is totally different? Olivia Rodrigo. These are communities that are totally different and targeted. And so really community minded. Those three things: excellence, artist excellence, commercial acumen, community minded. those are the artists that are going to succeed. And we are making business models for a video economy so that your videos are almost turning into startups where it's like, you want to get on your videos earliest. And the next round to get in on your videos, it's like your videos are more expensive now, but less people are going to get access to them.
What this is like? This is like introducing a whole new thought right now. It's almost as if like my generation was born into like an era of rent, okay, of renting, right? And nobody really woke up and was like, wait, how can I own? You know? And only the smartest people, the richest people, the most successful people understand the concept of ownership, but there still lacks this element of education to these creators because they see an algorithm, they see the ability to get thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of viewers on a video, and they're like, this is the definition of success, right? Forget the money, somehow find a way to monetize. But I feel like it sometimes comes at a compromise, right? Do I strive for the virality? Do I strive for the money? And my question to you is like, how do we actually introduce a world of education where people are better understanding what ownership is and what is Glass doing to kind of combat that? Because that's the missing link. The second
Yeah.
people have the aha moment that like, shit, there's value in owning my art. And actually what I am doing is art, despite it being 10 seconds, despite it being 3 minutes. How do we actually educate people? What does that look like?
I'm so happy you said that because I've had a bunch of conversations this week with people like Valerie, Sirisu, Sam, for like all these entrepreneurs and creators in the space. I think it takes people like you, Adam. It takes videos that are educational content videos that are making thousands of dollars, and everyone first is like, wait, this is like the Web3 Sal Khan, and they made $100,000 by doing video online education. It's like I tweeted when I graduated from YouTube University 2020. And it's like, what if you had a Glass teacher that was making millions of dollars a year and everyone was just watching their educational content? And the idea was like, oh, wow, I saw this teacher make $1 million. Now I'm interested. That is the aha moment where you're like, whoa, how did this teacher make $1 million doing video educational
Mhm.
content? And then after that happens, it's like, okay, let's look into this. So it's
Yeah.
like, it might take, ASAP 12 saying, yo, ASAP Rocky, let's go make a video on Glass because in the end, we're going to own this platform, right? So he puts a video up on Glass and, more people watch it. And then Rihanna sees it and Rihanna's like, hey, let's go put this video up on Glass because we're also going to own this platform and this is we shape the culture. And so then it's like, oh, this person, Rocky did a fashion video on Glass and he made more on the fashion video than he made at the actual fashion
Mhm.
concert, on the live stream. And so it's like, boom, that is going to catch some eyes. And so I think because it's, you do have to have the Ethereum, like you do have to have the slight crypto knowledge to have the money in your wallet and to actually be able to make transactions. What we'll do there is first we'll get these bigger splashes with these bigger artists while building up native Web3 crypto artists where it's like, you might have come for Rocky, but you're staying for like Luca Maxim, or
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
staying for like Khalik Mal, Latasha, or you're staying for De La Sin. And it's like, oh, you saw a big artist, but you really realize, wow, like it has all these low key artists that are actually like Web3 native artists that are super, super fire. And it's like you might have heard about Blau, but now you're, looking at Daniel Allen or something like that. And so I think that's a big thing. Big artists to little artists like splashes. And then we're working on this thing called Onboard DAO, actually, which is like just educational video content that isn't just on Glass, it's on YouTube, it's
Mhm.
everywhere. And it's just like quick TikTok like videos, just educating every person about like, okay, say you're a musician and you want to, figure out what's the best way to get the most on this one track. It's like, where do you go? Catalog, sound, blah, blah, music video, glass, right? Then live stream, you can do that with glass, make some money on there. Then you could do, another video clipped from that live stream, on glass. So it's like literally you can make a whole bunch of revenue from one track in like a bunch of different ways, from the music audio file to the music video file to the live stream of performing that, to the video of that live stream performance, all the way back to the audio of that live stream. And so it's like there's a whole bunch of opportunities for artists, and Onboard DAO and Glass's Learn project is devoted to just teaching people about like Web3 onboarding experiences. How do you learn about Web3? Who do you call? Almost like customer service, where we have certain people who are like Ask Val, Ask Dayo, Ask Varun, Ask Sam, where it's like you are like a little confused on token bonding curves. You can just go in and ask, Varun, ask Sam, or ask me to help explain to you how, token bonding curves might work. Or you're a little confused on how do I, or what marketplace supports Solana or Ethereum, and
Right.
to help you figure out, which marketplaces are for that. So it's like literally the most fundamental questions to the most like complex questions, and then just directing you where to go when you get lost and when you need that friend.
That makes sense. Do you guys have a model for educating creators on how to price a video and what that looks like?
So we're still really early. We only have about 15 videos live on the site. We have an Our Network lecture learn class that is educating a bunch of people right now about how to search Etherscan. When it comes to pricing videos, we work with the creator based off what they've previously priced their videos at. So we're trying to have the videos constantly be increasing in terms of value for the creator. And it's actually more of a, a evolutionary process where most of the creators, when they work with us and then when they're first putting that video on, it really depends on the creator, because it's like sometimes the creator is like, hey, I want to put this for 3 ETH. Sometimes the creator is like, I want to start short at like 0.15 ETH and be a little conservative. So I'd say we advise, last week we used to advise, let's put it at 0.15, 0.5, so it can go up in the auction. Now we're like, hey, maybe, 1 ETH, 2 ETH, depending if we have like just collectors who are like, hey, I really want to put this towards class creators. So it really depends, honestly. Like we have to adapt it constantly to like what the market is looking like, and what the create, like how much the creator wants to push, or whether the creator knows they have collectors, which are like 1,000 true fans that want to support it, or if we have to have 1,000 true fans from our side that just want to support anything that we're putting out. So it's like it really depends. But for auctions, we typically say like, start low to go high, and then for editions, it's like, start low so that more people can collect it. But the goal is for us is to make sure the video uploading to minting it onto the blockchain process is really clean, really easier than YouTube. And then we also want the monetization model to be whatever you need to succeed. So it's like auctions, collectible editions, crowdfunding, tips, bounties, whatever it is, we want to iterate on the monetization model so that it works for the creator. And so it's like we're adapting on the monetization model and the experience of uploading the video and viewing the video, and of course some social features. And because we do have comments on the videos, and we've thought about potential comment NFTs, because everyone's seen like TikTok comments or Instagram comments, and it's like these are $1 million comments here. Like some of these comments are great. And why not, bring comments into the game?
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I start low to go high, but it really, really depends on the creator and the market, like at that point.
Yeah. I want to share my screen for a minute and actually go to the Glass Protocol website. Okay. And so honestly, very, very cool layout for the most part, right? Like I think this is super visually pleasing. It's not like intimidating. It feels very normal, which I think is like one of the biggest steps into making this more approachable. And just to add like more context to our conversation, so it's not just words, this is the kind of like the video portal kind of thing. So I'm
Yeah.
just like I'm going to be talking out loud here, okay? So a couple things for a lot of these video content creators that want to get on chain for the most part, right? Let's just call it on that. We'll see a couple things like what is Arweave, okay? People know what Discord is, share video, okay? What is Arweave? Like talk to me more about how do you actually host these videos? What does that look like? And what makes you guys different on that front?
Yeah, so we store our videos with Arweave, and Arweave is a decentralized storage blockchain. And essentially, what makes Arweave different is that Arweave allows for the storing of longer form content, and it allows for storing that content in like these bundles that essentially just allow you to upload packets and packets of data, um, pretty much like not at one time, pretty much simultaneously. And so it's it is just the best option we've found in the market today to store data in a decentralized way. And so we believe fully in Arweave, and Arweave has really just provided that storage mechanism that can allow us to be the home of decentralized videos. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So, do you think that's important to the creator? Like what's happening underneath the hood? Do you think like creators care about that? Like the food on their plate and where it comes from kind of thing, you know?
I think creators are caring about it more and more. I think the world that we're going to, where privacy and where your data is stored is becoming more and more of a top of the mind idea. But when it's like a day to day thing, no, I don't think creators care. That my storage is being stored decentralized versus centralized. It's like what the creator cares about is making money, and getting ownership in the platform over time for the contributions, and building out a platform that displays content that is easy to view, that makes it easy to create as a creator, that has the right categories, whether it be music, movies, gaming, memes, whatever. And so I think creators care about the representation of the platform, the community that it is actually bringing to them. And I think right now, from a vibe check, all the platforms don't have any, like, the community's not there. All these products that people use on the day to day, the soul is really lost in these products. Like the last time I'd say a product I used that had soul in a community that I was attached to use, I think Clubhouse had it a bit, um, but they didn't have the incentives. The incentives were wrong, and so they lost everything. And like that's really what happens. It's like if your incentives are just wrong, which is what we learned from our first startup, you can have that engagement and that love for temporary, but the loyalty will not be there. The soul, the pull to want that product to succeed really badly will not be there. And so I think creators sense like, wow, like this new idea of ownership is actually going to get me to stay on the days where I'm having trouble creating, on the days where like I hate the internet, or on the days where, I don't want to see my phone or laptop or whatever. And
Mhm.
so I think they're coming for money, ownership, and of course, you're looking for a Web3 platform that does videos, long, short form, and that's us. And we're the only ones that do that right now. And then also, they're looking for like the community, and I think those are like the main things they're looking for. And then they would hope that that community would build the right things on the back end.
Yeah.
Right. And it's up to the core development team to have that care and to have that care of, let's make this decentralized. Let's make this, with the ethos of the community. It really comes down to the core development team.
Yeah.
You want them to have that ethos and that idea to make it what the community would like
Yeah.
most.
How do creators intertwine incentives into their content? What does that look like? Like
So
let's talk about like short form and like long form. Like long form, actually mid form. Okay, we're introducing brackets to it. Mid form being like music videos. Okay, short form being like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. Okay, how do people? Yeah, talk to me through that. Are you guys building something around that too, or what does that look like?
yeah, so we have a lot of fun stuff that we're building on the way that is just gonna totally, like, that experience you just showed with the Marky Basie, if you could go back, but like that is literally like V 0.5. Like, we don't have profiles yet. We don't have a homepage with like the top with countdown for the next videos coming. We don't have a video wait list, almost like a film festival for what's coming. Um, I would say with that Marky Basie video, if you look at the comments, it says NFT rewards, and the rewards say lifetime gold pass, which means you can literally go to any Marky Basie concert forever, right? So go up a little bit,
Okay, 1 second.
right, and then show more in the description.
Show more in the description.
Right,
Where's that?
right above share video to the
Sure.
left.
Oh, okay, got it. Cool.
Right? So NFT rewards at the bottom, it says VIP +1 all access to any show on his upcoming tour, um, lifetime golden ticket, and 30-minute FaceTime with Basie. The creator, the collector of this literally said, I got a bargain for this NFT for what this is. And so
And
we're gonna,
this was 8.2K. Okay.
yeah, and mind you, Marky Basie is going up for the Grammys this year.
Right.
And this was the top 10 Spotify album. So it's like he literally is going to be backstage with Marky Basie, literally going to be, any Marky Basie concert forever is of course worth more than $8,000 if you add it up over time.
Yeah.
So the reality is we want to make a UI, a user experience for these rewards more prevalent and just doper in general. And then we also want to,
Wait, this is such a steal. I'm just realizing this, not to cut you off.
it's just such a
A
steal.
lifetime golden ticket accepted at any Basie concert for life for
It's such a
8.2K. Like the resale value on that is actually immense.
such a steal, such a steal. So it's like we literally are actually every video we're
Wow.
putting up, we're thinking it through where it's like we actually not only do we want the creator to break even, but we also want the collector to get a steal, like a real steal. And so that's for a medium form. For short form, it's like, you can add those steals in too. Or maybe you could say, hey, on my next video, I'll make it with you, or you could say you can choose, the next idea that I make a video to. So we have a bunch of ideas that we've always wanted to test that like now you could just tie to the NFT where you can have that on-chain, off-chain experience tied together. And so
Really, really quick, I have a question for you. 8.2K. How many views does that need to be generated on YouTube to make 8.2K?
So, 1 million views is about $1,000. So you need
What?
about 8 million views.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
like around 7 to 8, 7 to
I
9.
feel like that's like the marketing tactic right there. Like
Yeah,
Marky Basie made 8.2K, which would otherwise be needed to kind of stream what? How many views you said?
7 to 9 million
7 to
views.
9 billion. Wow, what the hell?
Million views. Million views.
Wait, this is such like an aha moment. Like I feel like everybody who's listening right now should just like take a moment, like take a deep breath. Like That's a freaking aha moment right there. To show you that there's value behind that type of art, like let's think about the life cycle for a second, okay? This video that I'm watching is super high production, probably costs thousands of dollars to make within itself. The YouTube video will not cover the cost of that music video. They're banking on the fact that the entire album does exceptionally well and the tours go exceptionally well, and that everything, all the revenue generated makes up for all those micro costs down the line. Um, this is like,
It's
yeah, no,
ridiculous.
I'm just like having this moment right now. That's really big. That's
I mean,
really big.
this is what we do it for, because it's like we did a live stream. Sam Varun and I did a live stream to test out the software in like August, and we generated $10,000 by selling 15 editions for that live stream in 22 minutes. And that wasn't even in a video, but that was the moment where we said, "Whoa, what the frick is this? Like, we've never made this much money in our lives." And
That's insane,
$10,000, 20 minutes on a live stream from editions, like, how does that work?
dude.
And so
Game changer,
it's something you just have to see, and we need to put it in as many people's faces as
dude.
possible.
Freaking game changer.
It's crazy,
Game
crazy,
changer.
crazy, crazy. Like this podcast right here, like 10xing to 100xing the Mint podcast revenues is our goal. So it's just like that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. And so it's like that's what's crazy. It's just that every single company, every single person uses video. And so it's like if video is 57% of all internet traffic is video traffic. And that's just so much more than all other traffic on the internet. So in terms of bandwidth, the internet and those wires, it's videos. And so now we're giving videos a chance to at least break even, but definitely 10x, 100x what they're doing on every other video Web 2 platform.
All right, let's talk about this. If I start posting Mint videos, I ditch YouTube because my reach on YouTube is like it's growing. I'm not gonna say it sucks, but it's getting better by the day. Okay, if I ditch YouTube, because like I think it's important to post on there to have a presence. Okay, despite everything, but to tap into more of this like Web3 model, because a lot of what Mint does is like the business model is very Web3. So I sell, everybody knows this, or I keep saying this at least, it's on the website, whatever. I sell 3 to 5 NFTs per month to sponsors who then promote on the podcast. All revenue is on chain. You can see all that. The content is very Web3 native, right? The only thing that's missing that I've been wanting to do is like the infrastructure, the publishing is not Web3 native. On the podcasting, the audio side, it can't. On the video side, now it can. Okay. So, and this is without the expectation of me kind of like making money or not making money, or rather for the like the shits and giggles of just like doing it. Okay. When I post my video on Glass, what does that mean now for copyright? Like, so let's say somebody buys it. Okay. First of all, can I sell part ownership? Number one. And number two, if I can't and it's all complete ownership, what can that owner do with that video down the line? Like, what does that entail? And is it wrong for me to impose added legal rules and structures into that video? I can add a bunch of add-ons to this, but I'll shut up and I'll let you kind of take the lead because I think you know where this is going.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like one of the biggest questions. This is why we're taking our time and working with independent artists, and making sure that every creator is getting full approval and authentication to upload any video from the actual core creator who made it. So I'd say we're experimenting honestly right now with different copyright models, but we see videos as a public good where anyone could actually potentially, enjoy it, get ownership over it. And we kind of want to think of it as a public good that is, you could take that piece of content, reproduce it into something else, sell that content, as something that's a new content, and potentially refer and link back to that creator. So we're creating this thing called hyperlink, which is essentially just it's called hyperlink DAO, but it's essentially linking NFTs back to other NFTs. And so that can kind of create that tagging or that linking back to, sampled works for the future. Um, it also provides like almost like a list of, okay, where did that video derive from? That video derived from that, or I use that sound, and that sound connected to that video, and you're linking and deriving things in that way. You're linking NFTs like that, and so I think we want to make the technology allow for sampling and mixing, because everything is a sample, everything is a mix.
Mm-hmm.
There's no new things under the sun. That's in the Bible. Or I think there's always going to be new combinations of things, and that's what we want to monetize, and we want to help the OG creators monetize with royalties off of iteration or a sample of
Mm-hmm.
that creation. And so figuring out the exact model, copyright model that's going to get that done, they're out there. And I think CCO model, where you just are essentially like able to, take that work, refactor it, and link back to that other work, is a good model. And then when creators are uploading that work, we think, we're going to add in like verification and authentication when it comes to creators uploading that work. And then last is just like, you're going to have this social, Web3 is very social contract focused, where it's like, if it's not that person's work, if that person isn't, behind the community, and that person isn't like someone who's in the future doing this not just to grow themselves, but also to grow the community. Like I said, community minded, commercial, and artist excellent. It's like that person probably will not be able to sell that video. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, of course, you'll have similar problems with Web2, where it's like someone, takes someone's content up, mints it, and it's not their content, but it's just like, will that sell? Is it the original content from the actual creator? It's like social contracts are in the real world are going to come in and play, let alone that won't be able to link to other NFTs, that creator might make. And so, you combine that with the hyperlink DAO, combine that with the social contract, combine that with um, just basic like public goods, like copyright laws. It's like, then it's like, it's just a lot harder for that creator. And we know all the pathways at
Mm-hmm.
which, a scam, which is like, fake title, or,
Right.
not the
So like
actual.
that was my next question. Like there's a lot of like Steve Wozniak or Vitalik videos of like doing 1,000 ETH airdrops on YouTube. Oh, you remember that period where it was just like nonstop back to back? These scammers were taking clips and like of other actual legit videos of interviews and putting like a skin around them. Even Elon Musk did this. Like, how do you prevent stuff like that? Like, well, by the way, Elon Musk didn't do it. Someone did it on behalf of him, right? Illegally, like tried to scam people, just to make that clear. But
Exactly,
how do you
exactly.
how do you how do you how do you prevent that? How do you prevent that malicious activity? Because if everything's decentralized and everything's being done on Arweave, like Arweave team can't come on and like delete, like so that
And
stays there, and like there's no, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like how do you kind of fight that? Because that's a big problem.
it's a big potential problem. And so Arweave does actually have like some content moderation
Okay.
thing that they are building. So they actually help supremely in that case. Um, we we've seen with, like, I'd say like OpenSea being the biggest um, uh, volumed, I guess, marketplace right now. They use this verification check, and we're seeing that, like, OpenSea is working. It's working pretty well there. But like, of course, like we said, that is a centralized platform, whereas we are more decentralized. Um, we like I said, it really comes down to, how does the creator behind the video want it to be shared, and then if they are going to share that video, they're most likely planning to work around that video to add value to that video or whatever that thing is. So over time, that original NFT accrues value around the artist. And it's like, I like to say
Mm,
that it's not about the art, it is about the artist, right? And it's
mm,
like the art is just coming from the creator, but it's like it's really like I'm buying an Adam NFT on the mint because of Adam, you know? Like even though this was a great podcast, it's like I'm still buying it because it's like
yeah.
he's gonna do more podcasts and they're all gonna be great. And
Hmm.
it's like I'm gonna be able to say, yeah, of all the great ones, I own this one. Or, of all the great ones, like this is the one. So it's like you're still investing as much in the artist more so than you're investing in the art. And so it's like that is like if you're not monetizing or if you're sending people these fake things, it's like they still have to know who is the person who's sending that and how is that person official and
Yeah.
authentic. And it's
So,
like that link to your Twitter or like we link
okay,
to your
right,
Twitter and then we show the title. And
right,
so it's like that Twitter link is almost showing you like where you're really linking
right.
up to.
So I like to think about it like this, okay? I actually love that. I think that could be even a great title for the podcast, like invest in the artist, not the art.
Yes.
And it really that's like super, super fundamental too. Like I come from like the VC world. So prior to like doing Mint, I was working at a blockchain fund and it's like you bet on founders, you bet on early stage founders. For any early stage bet, you bet on the people and like the market opportunity and ideas and like other components, but like you bet on the founder and if they can execute the vision, right? And a lot of these creators, they have the vision, they've been executing, and now they're coming into Web3, and all that traction kind of validates their worth per se. This is just like a new step in the right direction, in my opinion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like this concept of like betting on the artist and not the art. Like let's look at Ali Straza, okay? From Ali Coin on Rally, okay?
Mhm.
She has a top performing like social token. She has 500,000 followers, over 500,000 across Twitch and YouTube. She does gaming. That's her niche. She's produced hours upon hours upon hours of content of live streams, etc., and then came into crypto. And it's like this is not a fresh face. This is not a new person. This is like an existing person who has a reputation, who's consistently executed on her vision, on her mission, with her content. The only thing that's changing is the concept of ownership and value, right? And me betting on these people is basically me betting on the fact that they'll actually continue doing this, but they'll now the value will accrue differently, right? And I think that's like the missing link. Like a lot of people, they see this, okay, I'm just gonna flip JPEGs, I'm just gonna flip all this stuff. Like, yeah, that's one way. It's a very like investment type of approach, but like the long term way, in my opinion, is like betting on people, right? And investing on people, and not necessarily like sure, there's like the financial upside, but there's also something beautiful about being able to support a creator and seeing that amount of money, like being able to change their life, kind of thing, and like realizing that shit, like 8.2K is over 8 million views on YouTube. How many people actually get that? That are actually like talented creators, right? But just aren't like breaking the ceiling, the glass ceiling of like live stream of the algorithm. You know what I mean? Not live stream, but the algorithm. Yeah, yeah, interesting.
I think that's exactly it. I mean, you explained it perfectly right there. I mean, ownership, change, mental reshaping of value, and just seeing that aha moment. I mean, Sailor Marley was our first video that sold for 5.82 ETH by a random person named the Sugar Glider from the Caribbeans, and he's planning to put that video up like a Caribbean Dow museum. And it's like, who knows, that video could go into Decentraland, like that video could go anywhere. And
Yeah,
so it's like he literally you literally now have, I say, music decorates, I think Basquiat said music decorates sound, and art decorates space. And it's like video art is going to decorate all of these metaverse spaces. And it's like, we want this video art to go everywhere. We want it to literally be super visible in as many places as possible, right? As well as being the home, we also want to link out. Like, it's like,
Mm,
the Mirror article, our network lecture is on Mirror, but the videos are on Glass. That's unmonetized.
yeah.
But the conversation with the comments in the Discord is even cleaner though than like a YouTube conversation.
Hmm.
So the two-way interactivity that we're bringing when it comes to, like, yeah, even like you're literally bidding and you're interacting as a viewer, but now you're a collector and you're buying this video, that is fun. People have no idea how
It
fun it
honestly
is
is fun. It is
when
fun.
you are can bet on the video. I played sports my whole life. We were always like, we always felt like, oh, we could get out there on the field. And it's like, I have players in the Premier League that I used to play with. I have friends who are winning, national trophies. I have friends who are on the US national team. And it's like, I sometimes am like, dang, I want to get out there. Like, how can I want to
Mm,
interact with this
mm,
game? And it's like, I feel like honestly, it would be sick to eventually be going to a world where it's like, if I felt I could play against one of these players, I could actually, potentially bid enough or whatever, or do enough to get onto the field. And so I think this is just moving the world towards where everyone who was previously on the bench is just going to get more and more like, I want to play.
hmm.
And
Put
everyone
me
who,
in, coach.
yeah, like in every, like literally put me in, coach. And
So
then
now
every,
you're your own coach and like you're
yeah,
putting yourself in.
exactly.
Boom, mic drop. Boom.
That's exactly it. Like, you're Jerry Krause, Phil Jackson, and Michael Jordan in one person, And
I
so,
love it.
it's like,
I love it.
you gotta limit your Jerry Krause. You gotta come with, that win-win mentality. It's like in Web3, there's this tension though, because it's like it's like, I put a video up. Oh, like, now they own my video. What if I don't want that to be my owner? Am I gonna
Mhm.
go buy that video off of that person? And it's like, there is this tension where it's like, who do you want to be your owner? Blah blah, owner, master situation. But it's just like, in the end, we're going towards, just ownership and wealth in the end.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I think that's like the perfect place to end off too. Uh Dio, where can we find you before I let you go? Like where can we find Glass? Where can you find you? Like show yourself.
At Glass Protocol on Twitter, glass.xyz for the website. And if you're a creator, just click the create and fill out the creator application. The goal is to get everybody uploading videos on Glass. Uploading videos does, it's like, depending on Ethereum gas costs. So we are, looking to, be multi-chain with Solana. And, if you have other chains you would like us to be on, hop into the Glass Discord, which can all be found at the Glass Twitter at Glass Protocol. My Twitter is at Dayo Adeosun. That is DAYOADEOSUN 10. And I think my Instagram is the same thing. But reach out to me, Twitter, IG DMs, inboxes are open. Always looking to talk about creators, look at videos, do whatever, chat, chill. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria right now, but I'm also in New York City. So if you're in Lagos or New York, hit me up. Also down in Lincoln person.
I love it, dude.
And Daylison, we have a video coming out with Daylison, our first dance music
Nice.
video NFT. It was like, I'm not sure if you know the Rima song, Do Me Be, but
Oh, cool.
yeah, with like
Nice. Congrats. That's awesome.
Neka Irobuna, that's about to drop. And then we got some other cool drops: Luca Maxim, John Waltz, uh, Lane Riley, Wada, Sirisu, Visionaire, Rome Fortune, a lot of cool drops on the way, Halik Mall. So it's we're looking to really just break the doors down. In 2022, glass is coming, and we're coming crazy.
Let's
So
go, baby. Let's go.
keep a lookout.
Kanye energy. I love it. Thank you so much, bro. I hope to have you soon again.
Thank you, Adam.